The week's main news. Youth activist arrested under drugs charge. No improvement of human rights and media situation in Nakhchivan. Hold on Einullah Fatulayev's bank account based on acquittal. Newspaper fined due to lawsuit filed by State Support Fund for Mass Media Development. Protest meeting at Iranian Embassy in Baku. Evictee sets house on fire.
The Defense Committee for Youth activist Jabbar Savlanli held a press conference today to speak about the arrest of a member of Azerbaijan Popular Front Party Youth Committee. The Defense Committee member Natik Adilov declared that the authorities had taken this measure in attempt to intimidate and silence the youth. The head of the APFP Youth Committee, Abulfaz Gurbanli, said that Savlanli had been arrested because of his involvement with the protests against the police clampdown during an opposition protest on January 20th at the Alley of Martyrs. Savlanli had also posted critical articles onto Facebook. The editor-in-chief of Azallig newspaper, Galmet Zahid, proposed that youth organizations should join with opposition parties to form a united front. According to journalist Shafali Sebhanoğlu, these types of arrests happen mainly over the weekend on the basis that people are less likely to pay attention to fabricated criminal charges and arrests. Deputy APFP chairman Gözel Bayramlı said he thought the arrest was political, carried out with the hope of silence youth activism. Head of the Musavat Party Youth Committee Tural Abbaslı said that the arrest required an immediate response and proposed holding protests in front of President's office, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and in the city center. IRFS chairman Emin Hüseyinov pointed out that journalists like Mirza Sakit and Einullah Fatullayev had been victims of the same charge. According to him, the aim of these measures is intimidation. PFP youth member Jabbar Savlanli was arrested on Saturday evening in front of his apartment building. He is being charged with possession of narcotics, which carries a prison sentence of up to 3 years.
IRFS held a press conference today to present a project report for its Monitoring of Human Rights in Mass Media in Nakhchivan initiative, which is being implemented with financial support from the Norwegian Foreign Ministry. The report covered the last 3 months. IRFS chairman Emin Hüseyinov reported that 2 TV channels, 2 radio stations and 9 newspapers are currently operating in the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic, the NAR, and they are all financed by local authorities. The project leaders, Elman Abbasov and Hamildostu Mediev, said that there had been no positive developments in the human rights or media situation. All mass media outlets are propaganda machines for former President Heydar Aliyev, President Ilham Aliyev, and the NAR Parliament head Vasif Talibov. There was no criticism of the incumbent establishment. The newspapers did not report on developments in other parts of Azerbaijan, let alone on international news. The residents of Nakhchivan are living in an information vacuum. This problem is compounded by the lack of high-speed internet capability. The project leaders said that independent and opposition journalists, as well as mass media outlets, are banned from entering the NAR. Based on their findings, they predict that media representatives and human rights defenders will face increasing challenges. Nakhchivan residents often face pressures and harassment from local authorities. For example, residents who want to bring home food from Turkey have to bribe officials at the checkpoint. If they refuse to do so, their goods are confiscated and sold on to traders. Similarly, residents are not allowed to import cars produced before 2006. According to the project coordinators, the measures taken by local authorities are geared towards developing their personal business interests. Project editor Idrak Abbasov spoke about the diminishing number of information sources in the NAR. According to him, the government agencies are generally reluctant to provide information to citizens, and citizens who go to the media face consequences. Azerbaijan International Bank sent an official response to imprisoned journalist Einullah Fatulayev's lawyer Elchin Sadegov regarding the court-issued hold on the journalist's bank account, reports Media Forum. Back in October, the European Court of Human Rights awarded Fatulayev 27,822 manat compensation to be paid by the Azerbaijani government. The government has transferred the money, but the account is still under a court hold. The bank told Fatulayev's father that a held account cannot be accessed. Fatulayev sent an official letter to bank president Jahangir Hadjiyev on January 19th requesting further details. Batalayev's authorized representative in this matter, Anar Gazimov, said that the response letter had been sent a few days ago. The letter reports that on August 24, 2007, Sabal District Court issued a hold on Batalayev's account. Gazimov says that the decision was based on the criminal case opened under charges of terrorism, for which Batalayev has been acquitted. We filed an appeal to the European Court of Human Rights on this charge, and then the Azerbaijani Supreme Court approved the ECHR decision and issued an acquittal. Therefore, the hold on the bank account is based on an invalid charge. Today, the Baku Appeals Court heard the mutual appeal against the October ruling on the civil lawsuit filed against Kural newspaper by Vugar Safali, Executive Director of the State Support Fund for Mass Media Development. Safali complained that his honour and dignity were offended by the expression press butcher that appeared in Avaz Zainali's article Ilham Aliyev is not the president of Kural newspaper, published in Kural's end of July issue. Safali filed a lawsuit demanding that the paper publish a refutation and that he be awarded 10,000 AZN in compensation. Safali left court partly victorious. Judge Mamad Mamedov announced that the newspaper must publish a retraction and pay Safali 5,000 AZN, half of what he had asked for. Zainali, Kural's editor-in-chief, told Objective TV that the paper will be appealing against this decision. Over 100 activists from the Azerbaijan International Diaspora Center held a protest in front of the Iranian embassy in Baku. The protesters were shouting slogans including, "Let Azerbaijan be united, Tabriz be the capital. Russians, Persians and Armenians, these are the enemies of Turks. Yerevan is ours and will be ours. Karabakh or die. Shame on Iranian policy. Shame on Iran's friendship with Armenia." They held posters criticizing the violation of the cultural and linguistic rights of Azerbaijanis and the Iran-Armenian cooperation, as well as personal attacks on the Armenian and Iranian presidents. The protesters managed to march to the Iranian embassy before the police became aware of the action, at which point they were forced to leave the area. The resolution of the protests was not acknowledged by the embassy. The protesters were lobbying for Iran to stop its relations with Armenians, to demonstrate its friendship with Turks and Islam. The resolution begins, "We require high-level Iranian officials to put an end to its cooperation with Armenia, a state that occupied Azerbaijani territories, murdered thousands of people and deported hundreds of thousands of Azerbaijanis from their homes. We demand that Iran respects the national rights of over 30 million Azerbaijanis, allow them to study in their native language and practice their national and cultural values." This morning, bailiffs arrived at 46 Nizami Street in Baku to evict citizens Rufat Dadiev and his ex-wife Lyubov Novikova. They were acting in accordance with the court ruling to transfer the ownership of the apartment to Ralph Karamov. Dadiev and Novikova claim that the decision is illegal and has been based on fraudulent information. On February 3rd, Sabal District Court Judge Elshad Shamiev annulled the court decision on Novikova's appeal, and the day after that he annulled his own decision. Dadiev and his lawyer believed that the second decision was made under pressure. The police blocked the entrance of the yard and prevented the press from entering, but after a while Dadiev's lawyer was allowed in to help his client. Then, in an act of protest, Novikova tried to set the house on fire. However, the fire department, who had been summoned in advance, were able to put it out very quickly. After that, the door was broken down and furniture was removed. The court executors allowed the journalists to record this part of the process. "The furniture will be transported as requested by the evictees," said one of the executors.